Center. It is Sunday evening, guys, 7:30. Thanks for being here. I want to get this weekend video out here. We had a wonderful weekend of hockey and family time, so loving it. If you are new here, go down to the bottom right-hand corner, hit that Option Center logo, and subscribe. We're going to go through SPX on this weekend video through multiple time frames. Check out the VIX, Futures, SPY, QQQ, IWM, DIA, and BTC, just to see the full story of what might be happening. So, to get into this right now, first of all, we have this... it's not mine. It's the option guys. It's down in the description. That's a Discord that free Discord that we all trade in and have good camaraderie. It's a great time. So check it out. Join me there, and we also have a Patreon. Starts off $5. Let's get into it. We have SPX on the monthly, way back from 1940. Let's see, the low of 1943 June, and we're going up to finish off wave 5 of 5 of 5. So on the monthly chart, we have this huge monthly reversal, and what we're looking at here on the intermediate term was 1, 2, 3, 4, and a possible end of wave 5. Now on the lower time frames, I do possibly have one more leg up to retest and then down, but we'll have to watch price action and check that out. So with the MACD, not quite a crossover yet, but we are starting to turn, starting to curve to the downside, well into bull territory. You know, we probably have some sort of upside left coming up in the late future, but let's go down to the weekly time frame. Work our way down, and just to let you guys know, we go through all of these time frames so we can get a big picture view and paint a picture of what might be happening in the future, where stocks might be headed. So we have awareness. We want to make sure that we're aware of what's going on so we can trade appropriately and with better probabilities. Okay, so after this wave 4 megaphone pattern, we started off with the Corona low. And we're looking at, we dig in deeper here, 1, 2, 3. I have an ending wave 3, or this could be the end of wave 5 with the ending diagonal as well. If this just is a correction, maybe we come back to retest the megaphone top and then start heading higher at that point. On the weekly time frame, we did have a reversal, had a pause week, and last week was massively moving down. So where do we actually find some support? We have this rising pivot here. We're right at it, and we're starting to gap up overnight now. So are we going to gap up back above this rising pivot? Possibly. Or do we actually come down to the 50 period moving average and also support from this previous resistance coming into support here? So some things to look at. Now going down to the daily time frame. I know I'm moving quick, you guys. A lot of information here. Going on in the daily time frame, we have possibly the ending diagonal of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would be the end of either the wave 3 intermediate degree or the wave 5, which would give us the end of 5 of 5 of 5, which means we're heading into the bear market soon. We cannot tell that yet, but if this is a correction, we'll see pretty soon here. I do think we're going to get some sort of support if we already have not, and we start to either head to highs, or that would be the scenario where this is an A, B, C correction, and that C may be done, or this might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to where we test that rising pivot, and then the C is done. You know, I think this will be telling if we have the 5 wave move down, whether that's an impulse of 1 and then 2, and we start heading more impulsively down to the 3, or that this is an ABC correction that's just over, and we start heading higher for our last possible last leg up. So it's all about watching price action. Now we are oversold on the daily, so we are looking for a bounce pretty soon here, at least for a wave 4 down to 5, or for this to be done, this move to be done, which means that wouldn't be an ABC, it'd probably be a WXY. And so there's, with the new wave Elliott, no pun intended, new waves of Elliott traders coming out here. There's many different ways to count it. It's not quite that simple. We want to keep it simple here, and we watch levels all the time. But we're coming into the 1.8, 161.8, which would mean this would be a good. If this was a wave 1 impulsive down, and then on a minute level, you have a 1, 2. Moving down to wave 3, which should end appropriately at 161.8, and then we get a wave 4, and then 5 more smaller level waves down to end this 5-wave series. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, let's go to SPY. Checking out SPY. Also, you can see we're coming into this confluence of levels here. We broke down from the 200, but we're probably just spiking through before we regain it and then head lower. That's just a possibility. If we do stay above all these pivots and start getting above, let me take that gap out here. If we start to get above this level at 454 and start to regain that, which would be the 8 EMA as well, then we're going to start getting really bullish, because this is an Elliott wave, the wave 1. The wave 4 should not exceed that wave 1. So we start getting above here, then we have to start thinking a little bit more bullish that the correction is over, and we'll have to watch those levels. But this will be a big level to get at if we do get there. The volume, huge volume spike. I don't know if you could see that. It's just really dim gold, but it's really way up here. Much heavier volume than in the past at this point. Going over to the VIX futures, we are no longer in contango. We are inverted. We are at a downtrend line right now. So coming from this point with the futures, we did reject a little bit, but we're holding support at this time. So we'll see if we get underneath this resistance, former resistance, and now support, and also see if we can get over this line overnight as well, which would be the downtrend line. But the futures, they're no longer trading in contango. If we're looking at 24 days out here, we have a little bit of volume, so we're seeing that trade. And let's go to the 51 days. We're actually over that portion of 26.52. We are 26.70, which is it shows that we're actually capitulating. We're actually getting our full range there. So it's a possibility of that we might get our reversal at this point now. And SPX, let's go over to the options expected move. And I gotta make this kind of quick because of we go live. My fiance and I go live every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on Can't Stop Won't Stop. So we definitely want to get this done so I can start up with that. But if you look at the options expected move, we had a huge a range area here that we're moving back and forth in, massive moves. But for the most part, the options expected move didn't really expand much except for this area right here. And then contracted right away. And now we actually started to break down, and the options expected move is about 150 points to the upside or downside. I do think we're going to hit that upside territory to retest the 8 EMA if we regain this 200 gap up overnight. If we start to fall down, then we're looking into a couple of levels around this consolidation here to where we would get the bounce after that, because we did not hit that 1618 area yet. So we'll just have to see what plays on overnight. We'll check out in the morning and see what's going on. But the options expected move, expect 150 points, expect to get the full range of this options expected move with the volatility being so high. To the upside, no bias, or to the downside, no bias from the options market. I know I have bias, but we have to play price action once again. Going to the QQQ. QQQ, if we are done with the intermediate wave 3, we're looking at possibly the expanded flat, not expanded, but our flat pattern here, A, B, and C to the downside. We're coming back to that 38.2 retracement from the lows right around, let's see, is that 2020, September 2020, the lows here. If this is the intermediate wave 1, 2, 3 is finished, and then we have an ABC down to the 382. That would be a typical pattern area for us to bounce off of and go to new all-time highs. If this is a wave 4, if this is to continue on, and this was the actual top, then we'll continue to see this 5-wave move down. We'll probably see this 1618 area at the 333 down here below. So that would probably be a 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, and then we start possibly the bear market at that. But we're bearish either way. We will have to see what kind of, if we do get this bounce, we'll have to see what kind of levels we do start to overcome. If we start overcoming this 36, the 369 area, then we have a gap above, and we got to start holding some of these supports there. IWM. IWM, same kind of situation. I don't know if you could see this very well, but we have the 1, 2, 3, and then the expanded flat WXY coming right into that 386, 382 retrace, which would be a wave 4. And this is also the 100%. Let me get rid of all this. It's kind of just jumbling everything up. And if we're looking at this move from the top, view here, 5-wave move down, had a flat, and then a 5-wave move down here. We're just about at this 382 area, also 100% move from this top to bottom here, which would be very symmetrical, and then a possible end to this correction and new highs coming at that point. DIA real quick. And we're looking at the expanded flat still. We need to get over this 100% area. If we do hold this possible, this might be a 1, 2, and we're looking at 3, 4, and the next wave up to end the expanding flat and expanded ending flat, ending diagonal. Getting my terms mixed up here. Possible ending expanding diagonal there. All right. And we're also in oversold territory. Everything's starting to get a little bit oversold. Doesn't mean we can't go down further. But if we do start getting down a little bit further, then we may rubber band snap back at any time. Let's check out BTC and Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I do have a some sort of flat pattern happening here from this top. It's a possible 1, 2, 1, 2, but with this correction being an A, possible expanded B, or a running flat where we're actually done with the correction here at the 50% point and we start to go to all-time highs, and that would be a very, very bullish scenario for Bitcoin, and we could probably see 100,000 this year at that point. If things continue to be a little bit more bearish and we get this A, B, expanded B down to expanded C, and maybe test these bottom of the channels here in the 618 or 786 down here a little bit lower. With this, we have a couple gap areas down here as well. So if we start to get down to this area, I do think this would be an expanded flat, and then we start going to all-time highs at that. So all of this is just a correction at this point. Do we actually start bouncing up and retest at some of these breakdown areas? That's possible, and then head down lower. So again, we're just gonna have to watch price action. This this descending pivot here, we saw it bounce off of several points. We had a reaction here, held here, broke down, retested, and started breaking down at this point. Will we get down to this 50%? That's very acceptable for a 1, 2. If this is a 1, 2 possible move. So let's just see what happens here. We are not short BTC at this point. The market, we do have a we have a majority bullish position, just to be out front with you. Let's check out ES, see what's happening, and we'll end it there. Didn't quite get to this the support area and also the 1618. So I do presume that this, if you look down here, if this is a 1, 2, or an A, B, and we're looking for a 5-way move down, perhaps this is just the wave, a small minor wave or minute wave 4, and then we start to test these areas before we actually get our bounce. So we'd probably get down tomorrow or head down tomorrow and then look for a turnaround Tuesday to start heading up for a bigger correction, wave 4, and then start testing higher areas like this previous all-time high, or even just the 382, depending on where we get down to. This 382 rising pivot, anywhere in this area. Have to be careful on how big our positions are as we play to the upside. But finally, if that is a wave 4, then we would probably expect a wave 5 testing these megaphone support here from the previous breakout from the Corona crash. So I know there's been a lot of information here. Let me get off. And you guys, thanks for joining us. Please like this video if this helps you out. If any of this information comes in handy, or perhaps some of these charts help you put some of your support and resistance, or some of these strategies with technical analysis are helping, just feel free to ask me questions, like the video, hit the notification in case you want to get all of the videos that I do that update the market and keep us in the game there. So all right, not looking at the other futures markets, but we'll check out. We're up on, we're green on all the indices right there. So all right, you guys, thanks for joining us here at Option Center. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.